Hello, Paul. Hello, Bob.
Hello.
Thank you for joining.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Uh,
Is Sasha joining us today too, or
Sasha will not join today. He has some work at the house. Um, so he coordinating with my mom, and my son.
okay?
Uh, yeah, take care of them while I'm doing this. So yeah, divide and conquer.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah. So um I got educated on more on points this weekend when my friends visiting from Oklahoma City.
In
Like
what way?
how to even get points on top of getting points.
Uh yeah, there are all these, there's a lot of rabbit holes you can go down. And
I know,
I
right?
learned I learned some stuff this weekend. I I thought I knew everything about this particular program. Like, oh my gosh, somebody just blew my mind as far as little strategies, how you can. So yeah, it's there's lots of places out there where you can learn more about it. And then these get-togethers, this is where the real info happens because people at the meeting I was with, a lot of the stuff they will not share publicly because when you share stuff publicly, it becomes popular. And then if it's a great deal, it will get shut down. So they try to keep it very close so they can play it out for a longer period of time until the credit card company, the travel, whatever, they catch on and then they shut down that particular deal.
Exactly. I think that's the thing.
Your
We also,
your your voice is coming in. It's not your normal voice anymore.
yeah, I put this on, but I don't know whether it works.
It
This one,
it's a dark. It's a
It
very
sounds like
deep.
you're
Darth Vader.
masking your voice to ransom somebody.
It's a deep, muffled voice, Sophie. So we can't understand what you're saying.
Okay, okay.
And maybe you are ransoming somebody. I don't know.
Does it feel
There,
better
Oh,
now?
much better. Much better.
it's back. It's
Better.
back. Good.
I don't want to
Yeah.
sound like Darth Vader.
Yeah. No, you were sounding like drop the cash off at noon.
Kind of like that.
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah.
Didn't know that. So Paul, I saw you joining early. Are you in Austin now, or are you in still in Arkansas?
No, I'm still enjoying life up in Arkansas. It's hard to get away from here. And when I'm in Austin, it's hard to get away from Austin. It's a never-ending cycle.
I see.
I
Gotcha.
love the way our backgrounds are all kind of coordinated today. Everybody's kind of got this whitish background. They all blend together real nicely.
Did you meet up with Andy yet? Not yet, right?
Not yet, no, because I haven't made it back to Austin yet. One thing led to another, and I've been doing a lot of eBay sales this week and ham radio and playing around in the lake and boating and all this kind of stuff.
I see. I see. Uh, well, eBay means you cleaning up things, or
Cleaning up things, exactly. Very well put.
gotcha. So I saw we have Adam. Adam is new here, right? Adam, would you be able to unmute yourself and introduce yourself to us? Oh, he's out. Okay, gotcha, gotcha. So, uh, thank you for joining our meetup today, virtual meetup. So I have a couple of people also lost the link and then asked me for the link again and all of that. So I guess I didn't do a good job on, advertising this and let people join. But here we are, keep talking about commercial real estate. So what do you guys think about the interest rate should cut and what's the impact to whatever your current portfolio, but also going forward in the market that you're seeing for commercial real estate, but also residential?
I think it's great if I can convert what high interest notes that I have, but on the notes that I'm giving out, I already have a high interest rate, a fixed high interest rate.
So you think it's great for your portfolio?
Yeah, it's a two-way sword. It depends. It all depends.
Hmm. Mhm. Do you have also a lot of notes that you're giving out, like seller finance note and stuff?
No, just a few, not that many. One big one, and that's about it.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah. So did we see rate drop yet? Tyrone, maybe?
They're starting to drop. And just a reminder, for you guys, I'm a private money broker, right? So like I'm on the lending side of things. And to answer to go back to your question, Sophie, I think from a buyer's perspective, interest rates dropping, is always great. Um, but from a seller perspective, what you're going to start to see to kind of offset the rates dropping is prices rising, right? So, let's say I was selling a house for, say 300,000, at, the certain interest rate, rates start to drop, then I'm probably going to raise the price to maybe 350,000, right? So from a buyer's perspective, like if you were looking to buy, I would say you'd want to try to buy sooner than later, even at a higher interest rate, because what you can do, a couple months down the road is refinance at the lower interest rate, but still have the same price locked in, right? Because you can always refinance to a lower interest rate, but you can't change the price. So if you bought it at 300, right, that's still going to be the price. But if you wait till the interest rates drops, then you might end up, having to pay extra 350 for, 100,000 or whatever the price may be, as it kind of balances off, to kind of offset the rates drop.
Hmm. I
I
see.
I might even add for that, absent, even if the price stayed the same and it didn't go up, interest rates are going down, there's gonna be more people out looking. They've been on the sidelines forever, so there's gonna be a lot of demand.
Right.
And so I agree with you as far as buy at the higher interest rate where people are not so quick to jump into the water, but once it goes down, you'll see more people jumping in.
Mhm.
Hey, Ron, what you just mentioned works great in residential. Is it the same game as commercial? Because like in commercial, loans are short, maybe 5, 7 years. Um, in that time frame, we can't afford to get a loan now and wait 1 year, 2 years and refi and get another loan. Is that the same game in commercial? Because I'm still trying to get one commercial, but I probably need to talk to more commercial lenders and be friend and get familiarized with all the criteria and all the conditions of the commercial loan. Um, but what do you think? Is the difference
It
commercial versus
it
residential?
it can be, but you would probably want to check your current loan first before you even, if you were looking to do that, because you might have stipulations in your current loan which don't allow you to, take on a, refi or, cash out or whatever sooner than later. So you would want to definitely check the terms of your current loan, to see if that would be if that would work for you.
So, on residential, the borrowing rate, I mean, they may drop the borrowing rate and then the mortgage rate follow through afterward. But in commercial, how I mean, if they lower the interest rate, but does that affect the commercial side also?
It
Yeah.
depends on the lender, right? It depends on the lender. But like if it was me out of pocket, then it might not, right? Like our terms might be set. But then again, like I said, you also want to check the terms of whatever agreement you have with the lender that you currently are using, right? Because you might be able to get out of it sooner, and then refi with another lender at a lower rate, or you might be locked in depending on the terms that you have currently agreed to.
I see.
So, Andy, what I think what happened in commercial is, so it's kind of like crashing from the 2022 peak, and it's crashing down right now. And when it's going down right now, and interest rate cut, so it stabilizes it. So I see a lot of deals now still buying at a 20-30% compared to the peak, but then the seller now are settle on price. Like, the price adjustment already happened. So now this transaction happen. And then if seller they don't want to sell at this price, they have an opportunity to refinance because lender got the sign from the Fed say that, okay, we got cut rate, we're gonna stable, we're not gonna increase more rate. Then the lender more open to help them refinance. And if they're not super distressed, they're not gonna sell. So, and they try to refinance instead. So eventually it's just gonna stabilize the kind of I think the kind of dip that we are seeing right now in the market. So I wish I can like have all the money to deploy into deals that buying at the stress and transaction happen right now, because then it's stabilized. There will be less distress transaction, and then there will be like going down, going up a little bit. Now that the market is back and people see like the price is like a little bit stable now, and they can offer more, put more offer and deploy their money into equity again instead of holding it and deploying to debt before. So before that was attractive because you can get 10, 12%, or even like with mezzanine debt, you can get like 14% invest with a fund. So now that you know the interest rate down, people would consider to put more money into equity, which is like to acquire more property.
What do you see as the current commercial rates right now? 6.5? Because when I read all these OM, sometimes brokers have the lending loans on the OM, and I still see like 6.5. And some of the underwriting doesn't really work with 6.5 either.
Some are like that, but I work with a number of different lenders, and
Mhm.
so the terms and the percent largely depends on the borrower. So,
Mm,
the property and then the lendability of the borrower. So, I mean,
mm.
I there's still a range depending on the lenders that I work with, and then the individual situation and the property that you would bring to the table.
I see. So what's the best rate you're seeing for commercial?
I couldn't even really speak to that right now, like because of the fight that I said I deal with different lenders. I mean, what I can do, I'll put my information in the chat, and then like we can, have a conversation. I can make a couple introductions, and you can just kind of shop and see if you can get a better deal for any of the properties that you got right now.
Mm. Sure. Thank you, Tyrone.
Mhm.
Any opinion on the commercial uh, thing, Bob? Lloyd or Paul?
So the one thing that popped in my mind the last day or so is, we're all talking about market. There'll be more opportunities maybe for people to come into the market. Do you think this might be an opportunity, or I should say, this might reverse some of the potential capital calls coming up because of the bridge loans they took out and having to refinance, and so that might be a good result. Because I'm in the middle of one right now, and they're still, because the bank wants more money in reserve. But that's just generally, Kim. I don't know if anybody else had any thoughts about the capital call angle on this.
So the GP, they do they need more money to refine?
That would be, I mean, generally speaking, yes, because when they raise the interest rates, so they were expecting these lower interest rates when they're going to refinance, and then the Fed jacked them up, and so they were not in a position to get the loan they had anticipated when they first got into the deal. And so there was a need to get additional monies to be able to allow that up to a higher, my understanding. So you're in your ransom voice again.
Yeah, you're Cyloning again. Are you a Cylon?
Yeah, it's my AirPod. I don't know what happened with it. Maybe I need to reset it or something. What do you think, Lloyd? We talking about the interest rate got cut 50 points.
I mean, I'm just here listening. I have personal no opinion currently on it. But it's nice. It's nice to have. But yeah.
Also, would you like to introduce yourself to the group?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am a dentist by trade, and I doing some the investment, investing, and also stock and option investing on the sideline. So I'm just been listening into uh, the presidential election currently, and also of the interest rate and how that affect us, with the fluctuation with the treasury bond, etc. So yeah, I'm just listening to everyone's opinions currently. Don't have opinions of myself yet. So
what are the deals that you invested into? Are they all okay, right?
yeah, currently all of them are okay.
Great.
Luckily, there's no capital call yet, so everything has been going accordingly. And it's actually beneficial to us, especially one of the development property that the GP is currently working on. So it has been beneficial as far as the interest rate cut, because they've been holding off on the refinancing into this year when the interest rate cut. They overraised the capital just in the case of the interest rate cut this year. And so it has been beneficial for them to wait into this year. So far everything's going great. I'm not sure about anyone else having any experience otherwise yet.
Got it. Yeah, for residential, I'm not sure about season or something. I still see that the market's still slow. But with the commercial, I guess like experience of us putting LOI in, just one experience, but also I heard from my friends who put out like LOI every single week. I guess she put out LOI, and it's still very, like, the price still very competitive. and it's hard to get the deal at the price that she underwrote them for. Hey, Paul, you have some?
Yeah, I had a question. Do y'all, since I'm new to the group, this is only my second meeting, do y'all discuss rental properties at all in the rental process, or is this just about
We do.
buying properties and selling properties?
We do. I know I have a bunch of rental. Andy has a bunch of rentals here. Brandon managing rental. He's working as a property manager. Bob also have a few rentals.
How do I find a good property manager I guess is the question.
You in Austin?
Well, yes, my
Property in
property's in
Boston?
Austin, yeah. So
Yeah,
it's,
Brandon, it's your turn to introduce yourself and
Yeah, hey, sorry I'm late, y'all. I had a work call go long, but yeah, I'm Brandon. I work for a company called Evernest Property Management. We're pretty well known for what we do, single family and multifamily property management. And my role currently is business development for Texas, and I also cover Cleveland. So I just spend my day talking to investors and homeowners that need property management that are interested in our services, but then also establishing just referral partners and people across the state that work in the industry to just build awareness and kind of work together and reciprocate. But yeah, Paul, I'd be happy to spend time talking to you about what we do. If you want to offline, I can send you my info.
yeah, I put my website in the chat. You can click on that. I think you can find me there.
Oh, you know what? If I joined late, I can't see it
Oh,
anymore.
I just have a dozen, rentals, and I'm using FreshBooks right now. Are you
Okay.
familiar with that?
Yeah.
Any opinions on that? Costs me about $70 a month, and it's really pretty darn good at invoicing and tracking.
Yeah, FreshBooks is more of an accounting software. There are software out there if you want to manage your rentals yourself. There's software out there that you can subscribe to or pay, and then it will help you with rent collection and underwriting and things like that.
I don't really need that. I only need the accounting part. I just
Okay.
need more management type situation.
Yeah. No, it sounds like FreshBooks would be good. I mean, like most property managers will have like accounting departments that like do your owner statements for you and then you'll receive those. Um, that's what we do. And then we also have like an owner portal for the people we manage where they can download like a CSV file of the income statement year over year, every 6 months or quarterly or whatever, and then just import it into whatever software they use personally. But yeah, I mean, uh, your info, I can't see it because I joined late. So if you want to just drop it one more time, I'll grab it and I'll set up time for us to talk some more.
I'm going to put my email address in the chat. I think you'll just be able to click on it and shoot me an email.
yeah. So
There you go.
yeah, that's great. Yeah, I have friend that use Stessa for property management and stuff like that. I think Andy use a different similar software. I use QuickBook. Also, if you guys need tax service, I partner and started a tax service company as well. We do tax and bookkeeping and accounting, everything. Everness. Okay. But
I definitely need that. I absolutely, positively, definitely
positively,
need
I'll reach out
accounting
to
and
you.
bookkeeping.
I'll reach out to you, Paul, and see how can we help you. Um, so there's I know that Lloyd also underwrote the same deal, Agave Azul with us, Andy. Yeah, and
Oh, nice.
I guess like a lot of us wanna either JV or also like should syndicate or smaller apartment, and I'm looking at one right now for us to underwrite. It should release information. It's 71 unit, and recently released information since September 13. So I guess we can like start underwrite that, and then I'm gonna share my screen so you can see what I'm talking about. Yeah. So
Are you interested more in the DFW area or also in a broader spectrum into the Texas as a whole?
yeah, I think for now I'm just focused on the DFW area. I know Texas as a whole, but like Houston, I really don't know much about Houston because it's very pocket by pocket.
Sure.
So uh so we see a few Houston property that looks nice, and then like on the paper, and then when we drive over there, the tenant base is very hard to deal with. So that's the thing that I found. But in the FW, at least it's easier for us to go there, verify and verify again. Also like for asset management, or like the first time, like I want to be as hands-on as possible. So easier to be on the route doing that. Even DFW is, pricier, I guess, compared to other like secondary or like third grade city that a little bit further away. Um, but the market is very stable. The market in DFW very stable. Always you can sell. It's easy to buy and sell in DFW. That's what I thought. So, and also it's hard to shift the perspective about rent, or property management. Like there's different city, you're gonna have different rent, and you have to talk to different property management company to get the numbers for underwriting. So to start with, I think it's easier to stay inside one area, and then once you nail it down, then you can extend yourself to like doing other area. So this is it's called Esperanza, probably a 71 unit right here. And it's very near to Richardson. So this is Richardson, and this is like Dallas College. This is UTD, which is another, I don't know whether you see it, another university. And this is Dallas, and this is downtown and Dallas Love Field. So it's in a pretty good neighborhood, I would say. Addison is very rich neighborhood. Richardson is very good, like good school, and a lot of development going on. And this is Plano, where I am at. And this near to a lot of good companies that like constantly hiring. So easy. But the thing is, I think I saw this property before, and somebody just bought it a couple years ago or something. It's also in Bresson Rock, and now they listed to sell. Um, so they have financial analysis and everything, and the broker is RMA, Rowan Multifamily. And do you know this brokerage? You talked to them?
No, no,
Yeah,
no, I haven't spoken to them. No.
yeah. So
Mm.
it seemed like um, a smaller brokerage compared to, Marcus Millichap or something. But they, we can establish, but they work with Bresson Rock Group. So Tom is the one that on this and upload this thing. And it's like 15, no, it's like Brandon, 15 days ago. Brandon, you have some
Yeah,
idea?
I was just going, when you were talking about the area,
Yeah.
the one thing I was gonna say is, I don't know if you guys saw it, but Wallet Hub, which is like a prominent site, they publish research and insights on economics and real estate. They publish every year, they publish like their top 300 real estate markets.
Yeah.
And for 2024, based on the data, and they do it based on affordability index and how well the real estate market is performing.
Mm-hmm.
And four of the top 10 markets were in North Texas, and one of them was Richardson. The others were Frisco, McKinney, and I
Mm-hmm.
forget what the fourth one was. So, yeah, I mean, if this is in Richardson, that's in the hot area for investment. Even though most of Texas is kind of going through a oversupply issue, there's
Yeah.
still areas in Texas that are like top of the top. So,
Mm. Well, I know that they pretty built out here, so not a lot of space. Like if we talk about Frisco or like a little bit further away from downtown, then we have a lot of land to develop, and then you have to compare with, other A class new build. But in here, it's pretty packed. In a matter of fact, I was looking for our office, for the tax office in Richardson. That's our location. It's hard to find good office for cheap. It's pretty expensive. Um, and residential, we see a lot of apartments here got upgraded. And I think inside the Braxton Rock group, we also tour a property here. I think like it's Braxton Rock owned property. I forgot what the name. Maybe Bob, you remember the name. You can't remember the name. Yeah. So when we drive on Cole Road, we pass by that apartment area all the time, and it's getting nicer and nicer. Before it's just like whatever neighborhood, and now it's getting nicer and nicer. So so location is pretty good, and I see that like they don't have the really Planium upgraded yet. And this is the kind of property where um it still have second floor and like this. And I see one picture they still have here. They still have this kind of like AC on top, right? So it's like seem like there's still value add. As it's not super nice yet. So it's look like these are new. They adding in for the first floor unit, but the second floor still they haven't figured out the AC yet, I guess. Um, so it would be interesting next week or so we can underwrite this thing. And I know this weekend we're gonna meet up a lot. Lloyd, are you going to the MNetCon?
Originally, I was planning to be there, but then it was in conflicts with another conference that I have, and so I'll skip out on this one.
You going to the 506 group one?
No, it's unrelated to real estate. It
Oh,
was in conflicts, yeah. So
okay.
unfortunately, I cannot make it. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's two event going on in Dallas this weekend. One is
Mm,
the 506 group conference, and one is MNatCon
mm.
that I know of. Thank you for the details about the market, Brandon. That was really helpful. Paul, is there any interest in commercial real estate from you, Paul?
Yes. Yeah, there is. I have a property I'm developing, and I'm interested in eventually selling that property if it gets to the right level. I've got a lot of cleanup to do on it. It's a rental property with a dozen rentals and 5,000 square foot house,
Mm-hmm.
6 kitchens. I think I talked about it last time we got, so I won't drag you through all those details, but yeah, that one.
Yeah, yeah. So if you can see here, like the offering process here, they want letter of intent, but they also want resume and list of real estate owned. So I guess like the more deal you own, the better experience they're gonna rate you. And transaction reference, lending reference. I'm not sure what transaction reference really mean. Anyone knows what it means?
Maybe the
Probably.
title company you've worked with, or somebody who can vouch for your transactions.
Maybe. Or any transaction that you did before or something. I don't know. And then lending reference, of course, like sometimes this broker will give you the lending broker that can lend on this property already, right?
Sophie, how much do they want for this?
I don't see it here. I
Hmm.
don't see it here. It's like number is to be determined, right? So I don't see it here yet. But you can see the average market rent is 1367. So they already operated 40 units, and they use $1 million capex. I think I toured this property already when I first started going to Bresson Rock event, and there's at the time there's a transaction happen. He was using this to underwrite and teach us to underwrite the rat race to retirement last year. It's
So
1965 built.
so it's 71 unit, even if they were selling at 100 grand each, so it's in the 7 million.
Yeah. They have a very range of 1367. So I think it's like a one bedroom, a lot of one bedrooms here. And it's finishes like this. I think this is already operated. Yeah. Yeah, they already operated, but still not stainless steel here, but they use like black appliance. And yeah, these are standard. But it's worth looking into and underwrite this because of the location. So this is a good location. When you have a good location, you have no problem increasing the rent because you always have renter, always full. Yeah. So that's what I want to share with you for next. But so Andy, me, Bob gonna come to event this weekend in Dallas, right? Like to MNatCon.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, that's
What
right.
does that stand for?
So that is um that is
Apartment
an event.
investment
Yeah,
mastery. um,
yeah, yeah. So sure. Yeah. I sorry. I think I put the wrong link. Yeah, MNatCon is they
Yeah, that's Brad Sumrock's as Bob was stating, the Apartment Investment Mastery, which is AIM NatCon National Conference.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like if you go in, you say like if you are not interested in building wealth or making connection, please do not attend MNatCon. uh, so it's funny.
I mean,
Uh,
I haven't been in person, but I've been to some of his events virtually. And lots of good information there. People that he does business with, showing you how to basically legally not pay taxes, on your investments by using, depreciation. And just the people that he does business with is, very, very good. He's had what was the one shark on one of his conferences, the People Shark, Damon John, Tom Wheelwright, his tax guy. Just a lot of good information that you can find from Brad and the people that he works with, his team.
Yeah, yeah. I would say like, yeah, that's first event I went like rat race to retirement last year. I think that's where I signed up to become his mentor, to become his mentee. And like, I don't know, I haven't purchased any apartment yet, but like the amount of information and amount of people that I got to meet, those, I think worth it, worth the money. That is open your mind to a totally different community, different mindset, and that's what we needed. Yeah. I met other people say otherwise though. It's like it's not worth it, to join is too much, whatever. Um, but I guess like it is what you make out of it also. So one of the reason I organized this meetup is for us to keep focus and keep going. Because the first time when I met Rasenbrock, I asked him, so what's the secret? What do you see the difference between the student that make it and the student that never do anything or not making it? And he said, just like the one that make it, they just keep doing it. They don't give up. They don't, you know, they don't stop. But the others, I know there's people join together with us, like me and my husband, and maybe 6 months or a year in, they already know that they're not gonna do this. Right? They're not gonna do this. Not now. Maybe they revisit the idea in 5 years or something. I think it's common. Like it's not for everyone.
I mean, I guess the other layer of it is that the market's been pretty difficult. So the availability of deals just even is more discouraging for those people that might be on the edge of, hey, I want to jump in, but hey, nobody's getting deals. So what's the point?
Yeah. Yeah, it was discouraging, especially the first year. There's nothing happened. Like I think, yeah, I did enjoy anything, like even a little bit active, like fundraising or whatever on the first year. Because there's just no transaction.
What do y'all think of the Bastrop, Texas areas for as a focal point for investment in property? You've got the Elon Musk effect there, full
Mhm.
force. I mean, he's got 4 or 5 companies going full blast, expanding there, and it's so close to Austin, and there's no regulations on property. I mean, the regulations, if you're in the right area, are minimal. So what do y'all think of that as a target area for investing in land and rental properties and housing? Any thoughts on that?
Mm.
My thought on Austin right now is if you're going to invest, it's a buy and hold market right now. So like 5 years out, great investment. If you can hold it for 5 years, and when the market starts turning back around, all these companies finally are seated here and not just moving. Because right now they just announced they're moving. It's going to take them some years to build everything, get all the corporate organization over to Austin with respect to Elon. So one of the things personally I'm thinking about is like I own a house in South Austin, and South Austin is also going to be an area that's like great 3, 5 years down the road because a lot of the bars that were famous in Rainy Street and all those are building satellite locations over here in Menchaca now. So it's becoming kind of like an attractive area for families. So yeah, I think the short term for Austin right now, everybody's panicking because it's oversupplied, everything's going down or flat. And so I think long term, that would be my prediction is like long term, 3, 5 years out, it's probably going to be an amazing investment again. But right now, it's just whether or not you can stomach waiting that long.
I agree with you. We have a few house in Austin, and as much as I want to cash out on some equity in there, our situation now is like holding. I believe in the potential of Austin, and I believe in like if it's real estate, it's a long-term game. It's like a 5 years, 10 years game. It's not a 1 or 2 years game. Or any business also. Like I think Lloyd here is like you growing dental practices, you buy and sell those, right? And you like what is the time that you put in if you establish one?
A lot of time.
Yeah. And also you
A
have to
lot
wait
of
out
time.
too, right? Like how many
Yeah.
years until you sold that practice in Odessa?
Well, typically it's just like real estate with apartment. You're looking for opportunity. You're looking for certain, services that are not being offered in the business, or in my case, would be dental office, right? So, what services are not being offered? What kind of revenue that I can achieve from those services that I add onto the office, right? That thereby increase the revenue, and then they will purchase based on the EBITDA, right, of that practice or the business itself. And it's very similar, with the apartment. It takes 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
Really, it's so similar in
Yeah.
that aspect.
Surprisingly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess what you're just saying is like value add. Like you
Yeah.
have to have value to add onto that business and then turn around and, make it going and then turn around and showing on to the NOI and then you
Yeah.
sell. That's how you can make money, right?
Yeah, Sophie, here's one of the because I was on one of the rat retirement. I don't know if you
Ah,
guys can see that, right?
I
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah, and you're talking about with the market being what it is right now, part of the thing with um, going to the events is just simply making contacts with other people. Because, Brad talks about deal flow. And, even though there might not be a lot of deals at a particular time, you might make contact with someone who eventually gets a deal and then has you in mind as someone who wants to, is looking for deals and to join in on deals. And so when they do start flowing again, like, oh, yeah, I remember this guy named Bob. He was looking for deals. Let me reach out to him, or to Loy, right? Let me call Loy, or like right now you might not have a need for money, but sometime in the future, be like, oh yeah, you know what? I think I better call Tyrone. He was a guy that has access to money. So sometimes it's just going, making the connections with people, building relationships, so that when the time does come right to strike, they have you in mind as someone, and not even just be in touch from long periods of time, but like I said, building a relationship so that you're in frequent enough contact with each other so that when it comes time for a deal, it's like, hey, let's call Brandon, let's get a deal done. I need somebody to manage this property, and I know this guy named Brandon. Even if it's not mine, I might know somebody who needs a property manager. Like, you know what? I have a guy I know. Let me give his contact information. Tell him, Tyrone sent you. Right?
Yeah. But also like it takes time to establish like relatively deep relationship Because at these events, you just like get contact and that's it. You move on. It's hard to build deep relationship unless you meet them again and again and again. That's why people pay for this mastermind. That's why, we're doing this meetup. Um, and if, for example, if we're buying that deal, let's say that 71 unit deal, let's say, okay, all of us gonna tackle on that together, right? So who can put in the money? Who can put in the work of coordinating and raising money? Who can, help us with property management? And all of us can, combine forces and even either JV on this if we have enough money, or syndicate it and make deal happen. Because in the commercial deals, it's so much work, to make a deal happen.
Paul, so I'm with a group that has a brokerage, like a residential commercial, like residential brokerage, and we have like 100 agents. So I'm connected with a lot of agents, and I find out that they post a lot of stuff for development up and down I-35. Buda, Isle, San Marcos, Georgetown, Waco. So agents, real estate agents, every once in a while say, hey, a new HEB is coming, a new Costco is coming, but a lot of the development is on I-35, up and down, all the way to Temple, and all the way to San Antonio. So and they talk about new development, new plaza, new shopping, new company, new restaurant area, but it's mostly up and down I-35 a lot. Um, and Bastrop, it's a nice area, but Bastrop, I think that what it has is only Freeway 71, and it's a two-lane freeway, and it is growing. There's a lot of company coming there, but it's still like an east-west expansion. Meanwhile, most of Central Texas is kind of like north and south.
Yeah, I hear you there.
Yeah.
71 took forever to develop almost anything. Was very little for so long along the Highway 71 corridor, but then you had the Tesla plant, and then you had a
Mhm.
few other developments. There's even housing starting to go in there, and you've got the Formula One track kind of in close proximity to there. And then, but it's slowly, you can see it's taking off. It's starting to take off. I think we'll see some dramatic changes in the next few years.
Mm. A few days ago, I mean, because you spoke about Bastrop, I found a residential home, relatively new, maybe like 8 years old. Um, ARV, I mean, neighborhood was around 300. They're listing for like 250. Rent might sustain the loan. I was hoping you come back. I drive out to Bastrop, talk to you, and also walk the property. But there's a there are houses division in Bastrop, that looks nice and that can be a good rental out there.
Yeah, I'll be back in
Mm.
a few days. I've been dragging my
Oh, okay.
heels, but I'll be back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Mm.
Tyrone, I just recently talked to somebody and they say that they also learn about syndication and all of that, and finally they think that it doesn't work for them to raise money from small investor, and so they go and partner up with private equity and be the asset manager and kind of like buy the deal by themselves with the back of a private equity. So they don't, sometimes they JV, but like they don't syndicate. They just use all the money from the private equity. And I guess it's like more like a family offices, or like some uh big investor that they have to target to go after. So I'm curious, where do you go find your money? Like find the people that have money to lend to these deals.
Well, I have when I first got into this game, like that's what I did. I developed relationships with lenders. So I have just ongoing relationship with lenders who lend out on deals. So like I already have an established group of different lenders who I, like you were talking about, already have relationship with. And from doing this, and doing different events, I've developed and have been developing more relationships with additional lenders who just lend out on deals. So it's like I'm just in relationship with people who lend out, all the time now. So it's easy for me to, come to, events and, find people who are looking for money, and then I just connect them with people who I know already have money.
Hmm.
But
Gotcha.
and yeah, and some of my, like, because I work with um not just individual people lenders, but conglomerates of lenders, so it can be a bunch of people who've thrown their money into a pool managed by a particular group, and then who lend out, to different deals. And stuff that we do is, stuff like you presented in the slide deck, where it's big apartment buildings. It can be anything from a single home to, a multi-family unit.
Yeah, I don't know the game of landing on apartments yet, but I know like I use my Roth IRA to land on flipping before. So like bridge lending is pretty similar. Where you do a bridge loan of like 2, 3 years, and you
Mhm.
charge like 11% for that bridge loan. Where people should buy an apartment complex, do value add, and exit by refinance or sell that apartment. So
Mhm.
very similar. And I start to see a lot of lenders now because since I work with this tax partner that I have, there's a lot of people come to the CBA and say that, "Oh, where do I put this money? I have like 200K, 500K. I want to make more than 6%. Where do I put this money?" So I think that's the fund. That could be a fund for those people to put in, and then like be a debt fund for apartments. Um, that could be that could be something um that nice to do.
We got to get them to NatCon.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, yeah. Um, all right. And anything else that you guys wanna quickly bring up or tell people about?
Um, I'd be interested in knowing if there's groups similar to this in Austin that have Zoom meetings, or is this the only real commercial group in Central Texas?
Yes, there's one group that meeting just right now, Tuesday, at Casa Chapala in Austin. I think Andy can show you Paul when you're back. And there's a lot of really experienced investor, and that's the first group that I ever joined and understand and learn about commercial real estate. Fantastic group, and they meet every Tuesday lunch at this Mexican restaurant.
So it's not on Zoom, Paul. It's actually at a restaurant. So you would show up there. Very experienced people. A lot of experienced people. A lot of people in Austin knows about it. And run by an experienced person. It's been around for like a decade, so it has good reputation.
Who runs it?
Ken Harris.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Ken Harris runs it. Mm, mm.
Yeah, Ken Harris is amazing. He um he he also was a part of Brassam Rock Group, and then he eventually should say that, okay, I don't want to do active deal. I should want invest passively, and that's what he did. growing his money passively with apartments. And he's been hosting it, so it's really nice.
Paul, there's also a good meetup that I've been attending at the Brass Tap in North Austin on Thursdays at lunchtime. It's ran by a woman named Jean, and I forget the gentleman's name. I actually got to finally meet Andy in person at that a couple weeks ago. Andy, I don't know if you went last week. I wasn't there last week, but I'll be there this Thursday. So, Paul, it's at I think it's at 12, well, the lunch starts at 11:30, and then the networking's at 12. So
Brass Tap, huh? What kind of joint is that?
it's like a brewery, like gastropub, just like a nice little like sports bar type deal.
Real good. Thank
On,
you.
so Paul, the one on Tuesday is a lot bigger, maybe like 50, 70 people, but the one on Thursday is maybe like 10 people, so smaller. And so we sit in like a little round table and we can practically discuss whatever we want. So it's a meetup on Thursday, but it's a smaller group and the topic it's easier to listen and hear each other. But every Thursday. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, and I think Jean is a private lender focused on lending, and he's like the partner running. I forgot his name, but he's
So
oh yeah, Harold.
yeah.
Yeah, he's running that. And in the FW, we have a lot that happening every week, and every month as well. So I don't have a lot of time to go everywhere, but I would love to go. And next
Well,
time, Bob, sorry.
it's
Next
good
time,
to know. Thank you. Thanks for all the suggestions. I appreciate it. Now
yeah,
I'll dig deeper into that.
yeah. And next time, I think we should learn from Bob for about the pawns thing, and we don't make it public. Like I'm not gonna go live on that, so everyone can learn about like how to credit card churn and using pawns. Like we're into that now. Like me and Sasha, we use a lot of Amex pawn. We actually use all the Amex pawn for our travel to Vietnam in November. So that was really nice. Right, Bob?
I'm trying to think next Tuesday. I will shoot for that. I'm trying to bet because I'm going to be in AIM NetCon this weekend. So if we
Okay.
could shoot for 2 weeks from now, I'd be happier with that. If that's
Okay,
possible.
2 weeks from now. Let's do 2 weeks
Okay.
from now then.
All
And
right.
you're gonna tell us how to use pawns, how to get pawns and use pawns.
It'll be a basic, and I am all more than happy to answer as many questions as you throw at me. Doesn't mean I can answer them all, but I will do my best, and I can also point you to various resources and places to go.
Yeah, that's all we need. Yeah,
All right.
you need to get started on that journey. Yeah, and I can bring my friends into so we can have a better discussion. So everyone understands. Because the whole pawns world is pretty amazing too. Yeah. Well, unless you hate money, which I don't think anyone does. Yeah. But yeah, great meeting, guys. Thank you so much for joining. We do this every single week, and our goal is to establish a deep connection and underwrite deal and put ROI in a small apartment complex, and do it together and do it consistently. Thank you,
Love
everyone.
it.
Enjoy
Thank you.
your week. Thank you.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
y'all.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
All right.